Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches here for my Flosstube update number 221. Today is Saturday, February 20th. I can't believe it. 20th, 2022. And this is a channel about cross stitch. I'm just going to move you just a little bit. There. So let me just jump right in. Sorry, I still have this thing on my nose. In this month, of course, I'm still plugging away at everything. Basically the same stuff that I've shown before, but so I am taking part in the I Love to Stitch challenge, the I Love to Stitch 2022 challenge. And one of the things I've been forgetting about that Dawnette had challenged us to do is to like write, a compliment, something supportive of other stitchers and stuff like that, to comment on people's postings with the hashtag love notes to 2022. And I keep forgetting to do that. I mean, I've been liking people's posts and stuff like that, but I just haven't, posted a compliment and with that hashtag. I just keep forgetting to do that. It's it's all I can do to remember to post my stitching every night. Anyway, so I'm doing the I Love to Stitch challenge, which is to stitch at least 30 minutes a day, every day of the month of February. With you're allowed, I think, up to 4 skip days, and the last day is a mandatory stitch day on the 28th. So I've been doing that, and I'm also doing the WIPGO 2022 challenge, and that is to work on the 2 whips that she calls, the 2 numbers that she calls every month. And this month it's number 5 and number 17, I believe, are the 2 numbers. And so to, stitch whatever your goal is that you set on those. And so I had set 10 days for each one, 10 on one of them and 10 on the other. And so I've been trying to, stitch furiously to do that. And there, of course, is some overlap between the I Love to Stitch and the WIPGO, because I can use both of those. And then I'm also doing the winter cross stitch camp, which is, as most of you know, a continuation of, from this summer. This summer we had cross stitch camp, June, July, and August. And that's the brainchild of Sherry Truax Berger. So I did that last summer, and so she did a continuation, basically a winter cross stitch camp for the month of February. So I'm doing that too, and her challenge for that was to do a monochromatic piece, starting on February 1st and hopefully finishing by the 28th, if possible. So I'm working on a piece for that. And then the other thing I'm working on is the February Rabbit chart by Ink Circles. And this is one of 12 that I have. So I had done the January chart last summer. And so I'm trying to do the rest of the year's worth, the other 12, the rest of the 12, this year. Hopefully one each month. Really, if I'm not stitching anything else, they're very quick. When I did the January one this summer, I think I finished it in a week and a half, maybe at the most, 2 weeks at the most. So it went pretty quickly, but it was only 2 colors. This one, the one on February, has several colors, but it's very small. So anyway, I'm doing all of those 4 things, and if that wasn't enough, I have worked on an old pattern that I'll talk about in a little bit. So Let me just, in no particular order, but in the order of the pile that I have them in here. This is Peacock, designed by Nicola Gregory. It was a kit for Design Works. This one here. It's really very pretty. But I was looking at it and I was wondering, see, like this light blue here, looks all blue here. But in the pattern, there's some purple in here. Like you can see the purple here. But anyway, I'm following the pattern. You know, I just like was going, I don't see it in the picture here. But anyway, so this is what I'm working on. This is it look like peacock. It doesn't look like the peacock's tail, but this is the stitching that I've done. I think I've done 6 of my 4 days so far. And yesterday I just did the the bare minimum, like maybe 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Worked on just like a little area here because I spent most of the day doing something else, I'll tell you that. But so that was Thursday. So yesterday I stitched a great deal on this to sort of make up for it. So, but see right here, this is all purple. And here's that little comma looking area. And on this picture, maybe I'm looking at it backwards, but I don't think so. But see, this looks like the comma here. And it's all like blue looking right there. Maybe right there's purple? I don't know. It's hard to say. But I just noticed that yesterday. I was like, that doesn't look right. But I don't know. I'm going by the little symbols on the chart. So, oops, I got upside down. So, that's what it looks like. And then there's more blue like over here. That's part of the tail. Anyway, so yeah, that's the peacock that I'm working on. So, and I don't know when I will get back to these. I'm working on them for WIPGO, and I'm trying to, put some time in on those, and they're all sort of long-term pieces, so I don't know when I'll get back to them because they're pretty big, and I could probably finish them if I did nothing else, for quite a while. But so the other one on the WIPGO board was this Voyage of Discovery. I talked about this before, by Stoney Creek collection, and the peacock was a kit. Came with Ada that I dyed. Came with white Ada, and I dyed it like that pinky purple color that you saw. And so I'm doing it 2/2 with the kit threads. This I'm doing 2/2 also on Monaco Lugano that I dyed myself. So it's mostly 2/2. This area up here is half stitches in this and in the water. I think I have to look very closely when I get to that part, but right now I'm not worried about that because I'm just working on the ship itself. So I've got a lot of the white done, all of this white area here, and right now I'm working on the sail. Right here I started working on this part of the sail here. So all of this here that's blue right now, but from here to here, this is all that's in here is white. So that's and I think I've done, I want to say 5 days on this, so I have 5 more to go, and it's already the 20th, so I'm going to be cramming away on these. So I think once I finish this white, just to sort of break up the monotony, I'll fill the rest in this because it is mostly full coverage except for like some in the sky up here, but yeah, so I just have the bare beginnings of the ship down here, and there's the crow's nest and mast up here, and some more colors, shades of gray and stuff up here too. So yeah, still a long ways to go. And this is just one of the 3 ships, and so that is WIPGO, the Voyage of Discovery. Sorry. Then for so those are my WIPGO pieces, and then this is for cross stitch camp, and I'm making pretty good progress on this, but I'm probably less than halfway done. This is Gathering Berries by Misty Pursel of Luminous Fiber Arts. And, I've been going back and forth about these buttons. And I was going to go today to try to go to Hobby Lobby to look at what buttons they had. And because I know I don't have any. I don't have these 3, this size and color of buttons. I have some random ones, and I may or may not have, suitable buttons. But the more I've thought about it, the more I think, because there is a version of the chart without the buttons, and I think I'll probably do that, But, so anyway, this is the chart, Gathering Berries by Mr. Pursel. And this is what I've got so far. I've got one of the birds. The other bird goes down here. And I've got these berries that are on this vine. And there's another stem and flower up here. And of course, more of the border. And right now, I've been working on this leaf. I just got to the end of a thread here. And so I have the border to finish. And there's a flower here. And then there's a flower over here. And another bird and a berry over on this side. So kind of a lot of stitching. But this is Bing Cherry that I'm using. The original chart calls for, I think it was done in Belsois. But this is Bing Cherry. And I dyed this myself. This is, of course, also Monica Lugana, I think. Even weave, whatever, some kind. Yeah, but I dyed this myself also. So yeah, it's coming along nicely. This little bird is so cute. So I have like I said, the other bird to do, and then more flowers and stuff. So, and that border. And then Rabbit. So this is by Tracy. Sorry, Tracy Horner. Yeah, Tracy Horner ink circles. And there's one of these for every month of the year. So this is February. Those little bunnies. Each one has a little heart. So I've done this. I haven't done the middle section right here. I forgot now that I looked at it. I thought I was done with this color, but I have this middle part. And so I'm working on all of these here. So I've done one bunny, and I've done the stems here, and this is the bunny's eye. Here, his little eye here. So I was working on the Peacock when we were making the Three Sisters Creative video, which will be out tomorrow. You'll be able to see it tomorrow. Sunday. But so we were filming on Friday, and I was working on the Peacock, and I had a piece of thing of thread that I had just left on the table because I was stitching something, and I thought, well, because I was kind of getting close to the end of this particular thread I had, so I had this other little wad of thread on the table, and I guess I must have hooked it with my fabric at one point while I was moving stuff around, and I knocked it off the table, and I couldn't find it. And, and we were in the middle of filming, so I didn't want to, stop. So I was just kind of looking around, and didn't find it. I thought maybe it was, stuck to one of us, three of us or whatever, and I didn't find it. I couldn't find it on my clothes. I couldn't see it on the floor. Couldn't find it. So I went to stitch on Rabbit because I had this handy, and I had a piece of thread just stuck in, on the needle. So I just was working on this while we were finishing filming, and then I couldn't find the thread, and then I stood up, and there it was. So it must have been on my clothes somewhere, and so I picked it up, put it on the table, and then we were doing this and that and the other, and then I lost it again. I couldn't find it. I was like, where is it? And I stood up, and it was on the same place on the floor. I was like, that's so bizarre. But anyway, I've since used it, so it's not going to go missing again. I've used it up. But yeah, so anyway, that was why I did some of this. So I'm hoping those three I have to finish. I want to hit the goal on those other two, and I want to finish the gathering berries by the end of the month. And this I would like to finish because it's February, and because I'm hoping to do the March Rabbit starting in March. So I just have 8 days to do all of those projects. Yeah. So, but this one is I've been working on these little hearts over here, and like I said, I forgot that I didn't do this middle design here, because that's the last of this color is in here. And then the rest of the design is these bunnies. And there's one color that goes on the inside of his ears. But there's, 3 more rabbits, hearts that go on these, and this big design here. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish that by the 28th. But this one is less crucial. This one is not part of any of the challenges. Those 3 are part of the challenges that I'm doing this month. So I've got my work cut out for me. So, and as if all of that wasn't enough, I spent most of Thursday, working on this. This is an old design that I came up with in 2018, and if those of you who've been around, some of my followers have been around since the beginning, or close to the beginning, saw this while I was working on it. So this, I spent most of 2018 working on this. This is Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing, for those of you who know that hymn. So I charted it out, and I, did all this stuff. And it's, the more I look at it, it's very literal with the words of the hymn. And it's also very one-sided, kind of, all the designs are on this side. But anyway, I'm working on it now that I have PC Stitch on my computer. I did not have it when I did this. So it was all charted by hand on little pieces of paper. And the paper that I had, I think no single sheet was, big enough to hold the whole chart, because it's about 300 and something stitches long. So it's very long, but, and it's stitched 2/2. But see, this alphabet here, I actually, borrowed from a chart that I had. So, so when I went to rechart it, I changed this font just a little bit. I didn't use these fancy, capital letters. They're really pretty, and I really like this font a lot, but it's not mine. So I didn't want to say, hey, you can buy this chart, and somebody else's font, somebody else's alphabet. So yeah, so mine is a little bit different, a little more basic. Probably in some ways kind of similar, but it's a little different. Yeah. And this part is different too. The side sort of water going down is kind of the same, but it's a little different on the top. So I've been making a few changes here and there, and I didn't have this in front of me when I was working. I just sort of started working on it on a whim, kind of, and because I had found the chart, the original charts, and so I had the basic design elements, but I didn't have like the details on like this backstitching stuff and all that. So I got about down to this where these angels and this music is, and I don't think I did the rest of this verse yet. Yeah, so and like this little band of water down here is going to be different. I'm not going to put that in there, but so anyway, so this design, like I said, I came up with it in 2018, and I took this stitch piece to Stitch Nanigans in 2019, and a very nice lady whose name I cannot remember who was sitting at my table. She said, yeah, you should chart that and maybe sell it or something. And so, of course, I didn't want to do it. Like I said, there's things in there that I wanted to fix, and the alphabet was not mine, and so I just kind of set it aside for a while. But so I started working on it now. So hopefully, before too long, I'll get that done, and we'll see how that goes. But so then, so that's like I said, an old new design. But yeah, I hope to work on that some more. And then finally, I talked about last week about this Jackrabbit chart that finally it came in this past week. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. I just love this. I love his smile. Cheryl McKinney of Tranquil Stitches, her Flosstube channel, Tranquil Stitches, had shown this pattern, and she talked about his little wry smile there, and I just fell in love. I have a whole bunch of bunny charts, obviously the bunny rabbit things, but this Jackrabbit is so cute, and of course here in the Southwest we have a lot of jackrabbits. These big ears, radiate heat so that to keep the rabbit cool. But yeah, so I just love this. And this is Cottage Garden samplings, A Year in the Woods, and this is number 3 of those 3. There is a chart called the Swans and a chart called the Fox that are the first 2. And so I'm sure there'll be more released this year. And I almost bought the first 2, but I thought, I don't need another set of, all 12. But I probably will buy it eventually. I was at the attic today. I was, like I said, I had wanted to go to Hobby Lobby, but I wanted to go to Hobby Lobby and the attic, and we just didn't have time today. For all that running around because we had some other things to do. But so I did buy another project bag. I have a whole bunch of these now, but whatever. You can never have too many. And it's like, we make project bags and we have them on the Etsy shop. And if you go to the Etsy shop, Three Sisters Creative, you can see all kinds of wonderful project bags there. And my sister's actually working on one for March that has, like March St. Patrick's Day stuff on it. But I have some, but I have one that I bought from, what do you call it? Friday Off the Grid, Evertotes. And then a couple that were given to me as gifts from one of my viewers. And then some that my sister made, and then a bunch of these little zipper pouches, and some random things I bought at Target that are they're just like, stuff thing pouches that are made of vinyl that I've used, so for whatever reasons. They're really ideal for, some of those are ideal for these little smaller patterns, because they're just a little small. Like these will fit a full size, 8x10 kind of pattern. Whereas those little random bags that I bought at Walmart, at Target, are just a little on the small side. So they're better suited for smaller patterns, whatever. But anyway, so I bought this one at the attic. I was at the attic today. And the reason I was there is because of this Jackrabbit pattern. Calls for 2 fancy floss skeins, and the rest are DMC. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 9 DMC colors. And then 2 fancy floss colors. But one of them is a Gentle Arts. Yeah, Gentle Arts. And it uses about 2 skeins of this. This is aged pewter. So I went ahead and bought 2 skeins of it, and Weeks Dye Works Lilac. I might already have a skein of this, but what the heck, just in case. But actually, like I said, I looked at other patterns, and I thought, oh, I remember I've seen this online, and I've seen that online on Flosstube, and I resisted. Like I said, that the fox and the swans, I almost bought those patterns, but I put it off because I wanted to think about it. And actually, also, Tiny Modernist, has a Biscornu of the Month club, and I know I have 3 or 4 Biscornu patterns, just the charts, and one I almost got also, but for a second there I thought, I don't know if I have this one already, and I've done that before, of course, where I have a pattern already, and then I think, oh look, I'm gonna buy this, and I get home and I already have it. So I want to check my stash before I buy those, and the attic will is always there tempting me. So if I find that I really need those other patterns, then I'll get them. But in the meantime, yeah, so I have these 3, this thing, and I don't know when I'm going to start Jackrabbit. Actually, on my WIPGO board, I have spaces for 3 new starts. So technically I could do those. Already I could just say, hey, this is one of my new starts. But yeah, so I'm just setting it aside and looking at it longingly. I don't know. I really don't have time to work on it. I need to be working on all this stuff that I have to do. But anyway, so that is really all I have going on, because it's it's all the same stuff all month long. But I have just 8 more days, and so next Saturday will be the 26th, I guess. So we'll see where I am by then. And then by the time in 2 weeks, when I come back in 2 weeks, we'll see how I did for the month of February. But in the meantime, I have about 8 more days to work on my February goals. And though this this video is going to be very short. I think that is all that I have going on this month, or this week, I should say, because I'm working on the same things all month long. So actually, in a couple of on the 27th-ish, I guess, or maybe before that, I'm not sure exactly when, the new numbers will be called for March. So hopefully, maybe not next week, but at some point I'll know what my new numbers are for March for the WIPGO goals. We shall see. Anyway, that is about it. I think that's all I have this week. So, I will. Oh, I'm almost at 200 subscribers. I think I haven't checked. I mean, almost at 200, almost at 300, almost at 300. Yeah, almost at 300. So if you're not a subscriber yet, be a subscriber. Go ahead and join. Go ahead and hit that little subscriber button, and the little bell will notify you every time I do a new update. And also, look in the description box below. I'll have the titles and the designers of those pieces that I'm working on, and a link to my the Etsy shop that I have with my sisters, 3 Sisters Creative, the Etsy shop. And we do have a sale going on for the month of February. It's 20% off when you buy 2 or more items. So you have another week or so of that that sale, and so yeah. So and the link to that will be in the description box below, as well as a link for the starting on Sunday for the Sunday latest edition of Sticks and Strings. But on that channel, 3 Sisters Creative, on the Sticks and Strings videos, we're like 3 or 4, 5 subscribers away from the 200 mark. And when we hit 200, we're going to do a little giveaway on that channel. But we shall see what that's going to be. And like I said, we're trying to plug away to get those numbers up. So on that channel, go ahead and find that Sticks and Strings video, and we do that. We record it on Fridays, but it comes out every Sunday. So that should be up. And go ahead and check that out. And if you're not a subscriber to that channel, hit that subscribe button on that channel, on Sticks and Strings. Hit that subscribe button and the notifications on that, and help us reach that 200 goal on that channel. And I think that is it. So I will see you again next week, and we'll see how I'm doing on all my goals for all my challenges. And I think that's it. Oh, finally, really, this is the real ending. Okay, thanks. Until I see you again, happy stitching. Bye.